to all the comic fans, Marvel geeks, and all the nerds in between. Welcome to another episode of the Vigilante Vibes podcast, where we talk all things Marvel and other parts of nerd culture, like comics and movies, without the toxicity that's taken up way too much time in each and every one of those fandoms. I'm your host, Megan Nicole, and today I'm very pleased to have a very special guest. You have probably seen him everywhere on the internet, at every convention, giving you the latest breaking news and covering basically all of the nerdy fandoms. So welcome to Frank of the Geek Freaks podcast and Geek Freaks Network.
Hey everybody, happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
So happy to have you. We've known each other for, I feel like, so long, so it's wild that you're just now here.
I know I don't have time to go on other podcasts as much as I'd want to, and then I was like, look, you're gonna always be busy. Just get on some shows and have some fun. So that's the plan.
I feel like this is a good time to have fun because you're right after, X-Men 97, Supergirl. You're in a really sweet spot where maybe you won't be too busy because the next thing is like Avengers Doomsday and Clayface.
Yeah, December's gonna be nuts, right? With that, and like for my channel also, we got Dune and things like that. So it'll be wild, but also it's always wild. And the times where it's slow, you're just like, I wish they'd have a convention or something going on. So really should be happy with the too many things going on.
It's true. And sometimes you kind of get like the itch, like I want to do a reaction video, but there's nothing. It's just...
Yes. Speaking of that, so like at this point now, and I know you're really good about it actually. I really liked your series on Polaris and stuff. I am now at the point now where I'm like, I need to just kind of do some deep dive or my personal takes on stuff, because I feel like sometimes I get too much into the weeds of like, it needs to be news, just because those tend to do well. Yeah, but also, you like to talk about other things. So now I always keep like, boy, I'm a yellow legal pad guy, and so I've got them everywhere of like different things I want to, yap about. So that's what my
I
room
get
looks
it.
like.
It's hard because you want to have such current content, but then you're like, you need evergreen content too, stuff to look back on, stuff to build on.
Yes.
It's a
Yeah,
weird
and
place
things
to
have
be.
changed over time. Yeah, because before, back when I first started, which was 2018, having, first off, very branded content was important, and secondly, it needed to be like cutting edge, or else don't bother posting it. You wasted everybody's time. So now it's not that. Now it's like, first off, if it's branded, people don't care for it very much, and secondly, it needs to just be your take. And it's amazing how much I came out of my shell, like, to show my face on camera. That took a long time to convince myself to do that, and now I see it way too damn much. And now at this point, it's like, but I got used to being behind the brand. I hate to show me too much, but like, hey, just be honest about who you are. So that's what content creation is nowadays.
It's definitely putting a lot of faith in yourself. And
Yeah.
because there are days where you just get so sick of your own damn face. You're like, oh my God, why?
Yeah. And then the comments too. I mean, it's amazing how many like great comments are like, oh, that's nice. But then like that one bad comment's like, well, that'll live with me for a week.
I know. Like, to touch on what you said, I think last year I did a video of a list ranking Marvel's Phase 2 movies from best to worst, in my opinion. And I got like 2 comments that was like, Phase 2 is over, right? You're really late. And I think about that all the time.
Yeah, and that person put like zero thought in that comment, but you did not.
I know y'all didn't follow me. I know you didn't
Yeah.
go the extra mile. You just saw it. You didn't watch it, and you left the comment. And I was like, "Stupid, Megan, stupid. What are you doing?"
We love every single listen, every single view, guys, but you don't even know how much we stress out about it. But honestly, it's for the love of the game. It wakes me up in the morning when I'm like, hey, there's a new thing coming out today. I gotta get up. I gotta get going.
It's true, because like if you think about it, I don't know, 20 years ago, people didn't have this. They could just look back and see like, oh, this is my mom liking these movies that we're watching now. They
Great
don't
point.
have that very weird photo album to look back on. And like maybe it's really weird. It's probably weird, but I always think if I die early, my kids are going to have so much content of mine. Good for them. I told my husband, and he thinks I'm weird for it, but it's like, this is really an internet diary that you can always look back on, and it's fun. It's like, for the love of the game. We didn't get to do this younger. We didn't get spoiled like this when we were younger. This is what we do.
What the hell? Yeah, to me, like, first off, Megan, let me make you feel a little bit better. One of the things that I constantly am doing, because I'm the tech guy of the family, of course, is I'm making, this is so sad. I make the like videos for funerals all the time,
Oh,
and
I do that too.
yeah,
So
it's because
sad.
we know what a computer does.
Yeah.
But, and I am always thinking about how, like, man, if there's the voice of the person who just passed away, that hits more than a million pictures,
Yes.
and our loved ones are gonna have too much of our voice to go through. They will never go wanting again. Matter of fact, the way big tech is going, they'll probably have an AI version that'll stay on top of it, and I'm gonna have to be upset about that too. So yeah.
They are going to get so sick of us. So sick. It's like, man, she said she was done with life. And now it's like, she lied.
Yeah. New Marvel trailer.
100%. Like, wild. Just, but anyways. So this is already, we're like, what, 6 months into the year? I don't know how long. I don't
Yeah.
know where
It's
we
like,
are.
yeah, it's like 8 months actually, yeah, and I'm looking at
8 months.
literally at the
Yes.
calendar.
Cool, cool. So, and we've already gotten so many things this year, and you cover so much of them on your podcast. I have to ask, how? Do you sleep or like,
Well, so what? Okay, so I am disabled, so I'm at home more than I'd like to be, and that's why it's like it's really good to keep myself busy. Otherwise, what am I going to do? Play video games all day? I've tried
true.
that. It's not great for your mental health, guys. And so having this job, well, it started out as a hobby, it became a job, and which is that's podcasting in a nutshell, right there.
Yeah.
Um, it helps me keep kind of focused and everything like that. So I try to stay on top of everything because that is what I love doing. I love the stress. I love and then like, yeah, it became a network because so many friends of mine did not have the luxury of time that I do. So I was like, let me be the time sink for you. I want you guys to continue to have fun with each other. I'll do the editing or I'll do your clips, which clips are a beast in their own right. And you guys can keep doing your thing. And so that's what Geek Freaks and Network became. And so pretty much all of our shows, I'm trying to think of any of them. Yeah, basically all of our shows except for the ones that I'm in, which is not a small amount, are just friends that are talking about their fandoms and stuff like that and couldn't do the heavy lifting anymore. And so I do the heavy lifting for them. And that's what it is.
So like three different jobs into one, because podcasting your one show, like mine, full-time job, but you're doing
Yeah, I know what yours
multiple.
is. Well, and you add so much extra content to your show that does not go missed. I'm going to tell you that right now. A lot of people are seeing it, and a lot of people love it. And
Thanks.
there's me and Thomas are constantly talking about podcasting. I think that's like our favorite thing to do. And a lot of it is like we have certain names that just get thrown out a lot. Yours is one of them. We really like your
Thanks.
stuff. Of
For
course, of
those
course. And
interested,
yeah.
Thomas is from the Sick Burn podcast. You should absolutely check him out if you're into feeling good mentally and being uplifted.
Yeah, and he's on Geek Freaks as well, but ours is kind of the stress relief from having to think about mental health too much. And so
His,
it's the mental health
yeah,
podcast, the mental health podcaster.
I really always wondered about having a mental health podcast. I'm like, that's got to be rough on your mental health. So it's like, what is it, a vicious cycle? I've always have questions that I want to ask him. Someday I will.
He will gladly tell you to. He just loves it. Like all of us in this field specifically, and
Hmm.
probably not the people listening to us talk right now, love to talk about podcasting. So he would be happy to talk about it, I'm sure.
But it's interesting because, like you, me, Thomas, we're in a very small, strange minority where we have positive things to say about it, which is not,
Yes.
which is feels like it's very new because you go on Threads, Facebook, everyone hates podcasting when they're on a podcast, and I don't get it. If you don't like it, what are you doing it for?
I think that boils down to something that I think you also agree with this. Matter of fact, look, Thomas is literally texting me right now. Is the fact that we are generally positive about our fandoms too, and I think podcasting has become one of our fandoms. And like for Geek Freaks, we'll joke about like a fandom a little bit, but we'll never harsh your fandom. If you are a fan of something, hey, we're all for it. I remember when people hated the prequels to Star Wars, and I was like, but I think I like them, guys, and nobody was there with me. I'm here with you now, and I think you're the same way, Megan. You're not going to harsh anybody for liking something, and it goes beyond fandoms as well. We're just generally trying to be as supportive as possible. I try to support as much as I can is what I'm trying to say. And a lot of people out there, they get things from the rage bait clicks, and like, boy, just type in any video game name or anything Marvel and just look at the thumbnails and all the AI generated garbage, and
Yeah.
unfortunately the views that those are getting, I don't care about that life. That's not me. So stay away from that.
Yeah, that's a whole different fandom in their own. They're
Yeah.
not in it for the love of the game. They're in it for the views, for the money, for all that. And it's like, I think I would be really miserable doing that. I think having a positive podcast, you do have to try at, but it also kind of trickles down into other parts of your life. Like if I have people who ask me to make a video about a certain character, and it's never a character I like. It is never one. And I swear to God, I don't know why, but they always ask for that one. And I go into it thinking this is someone's favorite character. I am not going to go trash his character, even though I don't like them, Jean Grey, but that's fine. It's fine.
Ooh, it's a heavy hitter that you don't like.
She's just so damn boring. Like they've already done too much to her. They don't know what to do with her. I love Stephanie Phillips' run with her because it explored her at the top level she's at. It wasn't like, oh, she died and the Phoenix brought her back. Oh, this happened,
Yes.
but she died again. They've gone too far. They don't know what to do with her. Just kill her, give her a few years off, bring her back, just normal mutant. Then go from there.
The classic comic book move. Like sometimes you just need to kill the character off. Green Arrow. I mean, it's happened literally all the money. You need to go through them. Kill them off for a little bit. Let the sidekick take the lead or whatever, or team forms around them. Gosh, it's literally happened every time. And then they come back and they're like kind of telling their origin story again, and we're all for it. Has there ever been a person that you've dug into, like Jean Grey, where after doing the research on them, you've learned something, or maybe there's a new appreciation for that character?
Most of them. There's like a large majority. There's quite a few mutants that were just never vibed with in the comics. Was just always like, why are you here? And then by the end of it, because when I do my breakdowns, I read everything about that character. So you see every different scenario, and you're like, you know what? Maybe T'Challa wasn't a piece of crap. He still might be, but that's beside the point.
That's a tough one for me to swallow. Jean Grey, I can see. T'Challa can do no wrong in my book. It's hard because the MCU has just made him so good. So, yeah.
He is perfect in the MCU. Like, I would be fine with them just putting that version in the comics, 100%. But I'm making a video about Storm right now, and I'm going through their marriage, which is why I made a video today, because I was like, I don't have anything to post today. I already have this there. So I going through that, I'm like, he was a pretty awful husband. And it's like, you see it in a new eyes because you're seeing it from her perspective, what happened with her. And there's not one comic book character that, well, there might be one, but there's not many that are just angels their whole life, except Nightcrawler. I mean, it's Nightcrawler.
I love him.
No, no. So speaking of Nightcrawler, we have to talk about X-Men 97 because that ended 2 days ago, and it is high on the list for people to either complain about or absolutely love. Where are you on season 2?
Okay. Wow, this is fun because first off, it's fantastic, right? Because it's X-Men and it's X-Men 97. So no complaints on that sense. Is it as good as season 1? Probably not. I think season 1 probably had a little bit more going on. There are definitely some things. There's like what realistically I have no problem with it, but then also when you have to be a nitpicker, you find the nitpicky stuff. I had so much fun with it, and Gambit's back, but that Nightcrawler ending, especially since I thought there was going to be 10 episodes, not 9, and so I'm watching this and I'm like, wait a minute, what's happening, guys? This feels like the end. We can't bring him back. I'm going to miss Nightcrawler because I can't think of a bad moment with him, and just like his parentage, he's going to be back. We know what's going to happen. You're not going to have Mystique come in for season 3 and him not be back for that. It'll be something.
But imagine if they did just keep him out for a whole season and Mystique did come back. And it's like, it's almost poetically beautiful because we did see in the opening intro that it was the scene where she's throwing him off the bridge. And now they say he's dead. I don't think he's dead. I didn't see a body. I didn't see his body the skin start to come off.
That's true. And because he's such a creature of faith, I wonder if there's something where the Celestial is going to be like, I'd rather you be a herald than a victim or something along those lines. I don't know. That, by the way, that rogue skin, as somebody who plays Marvel Rivals, I was like, I cannot wait to buy that rogue skin. When she came out with I was like, that is going to look great on the battlefield.
She looked beautiful. And I was like, I know this is only for this episode and I hate you guys for that, but like,
right.
She looks beautiful. Keep the look. The drip was good.
Yes. And Lenore even changed her voice to be a little bit ethereal, I thought was a good move because it's not just so she was definitely not just rogue in that body. It was cool. I did the move.
It goes back to like, man, Lenore, I swear, she just delivers and delivers. Last season, we all remember the fifth episode, the I can't feel you. Like, it haunted our dreams for a year,
Yes.
2 years, I don't know how many years. But now we're here. And while Rogue did have a smaller part this season, noticeably smaller, because I think they really were letting it cook to the end, um, that last episode, we saw so many different tones. We saw anger, anguish, we saw relief, we saw confusion, and it was all in like a 20-minute episode, and that was all Lenore.
Yeah. It's tricky when I'm watching X-Men, and it actually happens. It's one of the reasons X-Men is so good, is because there are so many moral questions at play, more so than I would even say in the Avengers or Justice League or anything like that. And a lot of times, I would argue the X-Men are wrong. Like in this one, just kill Gambit and Apocalypse is gone. It sucks, but it's the truth. And then even for the beginning of it too, when like Bishop's going back to the past and be like, "Hey, you got a gun? Shoot the guy." You know what he becomes. But in this episode, when we're watching, gosh, it's hard because like everything they do, all the risks they take, it's because of family, it's because of love. It's not reason in any way. And so the fact that she gives up everything because she loves Remy, and then on the other side of that, Nightcrawler gives everything for his sister, and it's just like, it all comes down to the irrational love you have for family. And I think that no other superhero grouping can claim that.
I think you're right. You hit the nail with the hammer or whatever it's called. I think it's the issue is that like with the Avengers, all the other superhero teams, they act out of what's the best idea for the situation, what's the morally right thing. The X-Men very much are emotionally reactional. So they're like, I don't care what we have to do. You're not killing my Gambit. I don't care what I have to do. You're not taking my sister. It'll take my own life. And I think that really think that's what makes them have so much depth to them as a team, and it always has. With the Avengers, it's like, yeah, it's the Avengers. They're cool, but where's the depth?
Yeah, and I think they try to be as rational as possible. And I think that's why Civil War hit so hard, because it was like, there's a good point on both sides, rationally. But then when you have like X-Men versus Avengers, which is essentially what's coming up with this next movie, I think we're getting a lot of that. We see the opposite, right? We see like what is emotionally driven, let's protect Hope, versus we gotta kill Hope. It's kind of the same thing where it's just like, you guys got to stop gambling Earth and existence off of your friend. It doesn't work for us. But also, it's like, that's why we love the X-Men, because as gruff as, Logan is, they're going to bat for him every time. That's the best part.
It's true. And also, I don't know what comic writers have against Hope Summers, but like most of her life has been spent running from someone trying to kill her.
Yeah, I mean, look at Nathan, the poor guy. He's a kid, baby, gets thrown into the future. He's like, yeah, you gotta learn how to fight the biggest bad we have, and then come back and your parents are fighting you for it. Like, what the hell?
And then you spend your life fighting off your clone because they cloned you in case you died from the virus.
He's got the worst. He's got the worst luck, man. I was talking about this. I think maybe with Thomas, where I really hope Sadie Sink at some point has to go to Josh Brolin and be like, my baby boy, and like approach him that way. If they just bring him in just for a little bit to play a little bit of Cable, that would be a lot of fun.
Just like the old Josh Brolin Cable looking at a young teenage Jean, my mom. Like,
yeah, can I go outside, Mom?
I never actually thought about Josh Brolin's Cable in relation to Sadie Sink's Jean. I think because part of me hopes she's still not Jean. I don't know. I know she's Jean, but it's like, but is she?
Yeah. Is she Madeline? There's a little bit of Madeline there with like the way she did things, the way she was so manipulative. But I have a feeling with the MCU, my argument is the reason she's not like Jean at all right now is because there is no Professor X in her life. And we're actually going to see, maybe for the first time on screen, that Xavier's school is actually going to teach people how to be better mutants. And so we're actually going to see like the teaching process. I'm hoping.
We saw Halle Berry in a classroom once.
Yes. I
It
think she was teaching
happened.
the weather though. She wasn't teaching like mutant stuff, you know?
No, like everything I've seen from them, they're teaching like human things. Like Professor X is like, oh, here's history. And they're like, oh, can someone teach math? It's like they're mutants though. Like, calm down. You don't need to
This
know
one's
the
literally a
Pythagorean
nuclear bomb
theorem.
sitting in the chair. Can you like maybe teach him how to control that? That would be
That would
helpful
be,
for the rest of us.
yeah, Cyclops just took out your favorite tree. So what are we
Yeah.
doing here?
Yeah. And then I don't know which movie it was. Like he went to high school, whatever, and then he used his beam and like cut the high school in half. I'm like, probably should have worked on that, maybe, guys. I don't know. It's okay if he knows a little less history, I guess. We keep saying history. That's probably the one thing we want the X Men to know because they time travel way too much for their own good. So that's the one we need them to study, actually.
I've said time and time again, time travel exists just to piss the X-Men off. It has never done any good for them
Yeah.
ever, except to save
What
baby Nathan one time
one
when he
time?
was a baby.
What did you think about? I am a big fan of time travel stories, especially when the MacGuffin is actually it was all inevitable. And what did you think about the idea of like them going back in time? Again, I'm like, just kill him. But nevertheless, the reason when X-Men went back, what they did to Apocalypse made him Apocalypse. What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's one of those things, it's inevitable. I actually don't like time travel stories because for me, it takes the stakes away. We've seen so many times, like, oh, he'll just travel a little farther back and stop it from happening. That always takes me out of it a little bit. But it's like with the X-Men, you have Cable jumping in and out all the time, like someone's photobombing a picture. You kind of get used to it. But with Apocalypse, I think it was funny because Magneto was like, oh, oh, everyone, I am the puppet master. You are my puppets. And then we should have known from the first episode that Magneto was going to mess it up. We should have known it was his fault. But that's fine. But I like the way they handled it because it was like, well, you're not going to stop him because there is a difference between you manipulating time and what's meant to be. And I think that's something the X-Men haven't learned.
Yeah, they continue to fall short, and I think this season was just another reminder that you guys are best when you stick to your time. When you guys try to not change it. When you do try to change things, you mess things up. I mean, Days of Future Past, I'd argue is like, if not the best X Men story, one of the best X Men stories. And I love that whole bit when Bishop goes back to like get them, and he's saying, like, "You guys can't do this" or whatever. And it's like, of all people, Bishop, do not tell us that. And Magneto was right to tell him that. Like, come on, dude. But the little change to everything that I really liked was the fact that they added Kang to this equation. And I thought it was a little bit of the expansion into the MCU as a wider whole. Of course, we know Kang's not going to be Kang anymore. But I like that they're starting to slowly kind of get these two worlds merged together a bit.
I'm going to be honest, I completely forgot King was in the show until you said something.
Yeah.
Because it went nowhere. And I think for a week, a lot of people are like, oh man, this is it. We're going to get King. He's going to come in hard. Okay, where did that go? What happened?
I prefer that version of it. I would love if Kang is a character who,
Hmm.
like, say for Vision Quest, all of a sudden we notice that the mailman is Kang, and then he's gone the next episode, and then we're just like, what is Kang doing? And the idea that we don't know what he's doing makes him the best because he just steps in. He's like, couldn't conquer this one. I'll try next week. Literally, I'll go to next week right now. you know?
It's very Mystique because you just see him
Yeah.
popping in and out and you're like, what are you up to? Why are you here? Yeah, I like
Call
that.
out right there. Yeah, because like Mystique at the end of this season, when she goes and I can't even remember her name, but she kills that one,
Val
and it's
Cooper.
like, thank you. And you're
Mhm.
like, how long have you been working on this? Was this something that you did randomly? You don't know, but you know that you're just getting a peek at a plan that she probably had for years or months or whatever. And then you're also like, who is she working with? Because she doesn't work alone. She seems to be working alone, but there's always somebody else that's on a contract somewhere. So yeah, that's gonna be
Does
fun.
that mean Destiny's right around the corner?
Yeah, who I don't even know. Um, who was the one? Oh,
So
also Creed is president too on the TV. By the way, I'm trying
yeah,
to remember what
they
else did we learn in that. Yeah,
they were very distinct showing that. So it's like, okay, so she's going to be Val Cooper and get close to her son, who it's only fair if you throw him off a cliff too, to
I think it would be
Nightcrawler.
nice for everybody, really. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think
Especially
so.
since his fandom, I'm a little tired of his fandom IRL. So please throw him and his fandom off the dang cliff already.
There was a lot of a lot of nods to his fandom in the show, and I appreciate it. Like just the random, oh look, a guy hating mutants wearing a red hat, and it's like,
Mm-hmm.
I see you. Loved it.
Yeah, everybody who's like, when did X-Men get so woke? I'm like, bro, you have not been reading the books. You haven't watched a damn movie because you're out here rooting for the Cure right now, okay? Like, come on. And you got me going from Xavier to Magneto over you, so calm down.
It's a lot of people have shown that they are very Friends of Humanity coded with this show.
Yes.
And I'm like, you know what? Thank you. I wanted to know that about you. So now I know not
Yeah.
to mess with you.
And now they have big red hats so you can see which ones they are too.
Yes, it was the same people that were saying they shouldn't be inserting politics into the show. And it's like, sounds like you're offended.
Same thing happens, off of Marvel a little bit here, but Star Trek, I'm a big Star Trek fan. Matter of fact, there's four Star Trek people in this season alone, because Star Trek and X-Men have always been really close together. And same thing for that. They're always like, oh, it's so woke. And it's like, actually, Gene Roddenberry wanted to create an ideal utopia of like a socialist future. So from the get-go, it has been woke. And so like, I mean, it's the first black woman, male, white man to be kissed on screen.
Wow.
We had gay couples and trans couples in the 90s, which was very new at the time for television. And it's like, y'all not paying attention. You gotta watch the show.
Yeah, so I don't have anything to do with Star Trek. I saw one movie that had Chris Pine in it, and I was like, it was okay.
Yeah.
So I didn't know all that. That's really cool.
Yes, so the Chris Pine of it all is very much like, hey, let's try to make it more mainstream so we can get in some mainstream fans. And it worked well. Those are great. I love them. That's the Kelvin timeline. But everything else is in, like, I can't remember the name, but like the 60s on. And it was constantly, pretty very progressive, frankly. Very progressive. And matter of fact, some of the characters that were in this, let me see. Rama Tut is the Q. There's four different characters. I can't remember them all. But, like, yeah, they're all from Star Trek that are in the show. And that happened back with the Next Generation and the original series as well, plus Gargoyles, if you watched Gargoyles back in the day. Casting was all mixed up between those three.
I had no idea. This is eye-opening. I was curious why I always saw someone have a strange Star Trek comparison to X-Men. And I was like, are y'all just like, is this your thing? Just.
Yeah. In Star Trek lore, there's a Third World War. We're getting there, guys. Just kidding. There's a Star Trek. There's a Third World War, and after that, we were like, this can't happen again. And we kind of tightened the ship up a little bit. And again, it's like there's no currency anymore. They get rid of all money, so nobody's poor. And like ranking would be basically your knowledge and literally your rank at work, essentially. But yeah, it's this utopian future. And there's this. We're totally getting off Marvel now. I'm sorry, but there's even like an
Talk
alien
about
race
whatever
called the
you like.
Ferengi.
I'm learning.
There's an alien race called the Ferengi, and they have these rules of acquisition, and they are supposed to be like the uber capitalist, and they're a joke. They're a laughing stock because they have all the rules for how to make as much money as possible, and they're just meant to be. And like every story with the Ferengis, eventually you teach one of them to care about something other than themselves, and it's like, yeah, that's what the show's always been about. It's always been about that. And then like, speaking trans rights right now is a big topic of the day. Unfortunately, it's because we're having to defend them as much as possible, but in the 90s, there's a big story about like the embodiment of a character. She was basically being the next holy person. It's hard to explain. It's a lot going on. But basically, the inside was different than what the outside was presenting. She changed her name, and I think even her pronouns at the time, too, and became that new character. And even the Klingon, which are like all war and hunger, like, gotcha, new name. Anyways, let's go do this.
It's that easy.
And that was in the 90s, guys. Come on.
And they said, oh, there was no trans people then. They were always there, my friend. They've
always been around. They just have been oppressed. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, let's calm down. Trans rights, all day I've seen on my Threads account, which is easily the best social media.
Absolutely is.
Protect trans kids. Trans lives matter. And I've been so
good,
happy to see it. And we know it's because of the Harry Potter show.
God, you know what sucks about that? God, you know what really sucks about that is, as somebody who kind of covers as much geekdom as possible, we've made a decision. We talked about it on the podcast. We're not going to be talking about the new Harry Potter show because J.K. Rowling benefits from it. We're not going to help her out.
True.
But that doesn't mean I didn't love watching Harry Potter when I was younger. No. And it sucks to not be excited about this. But until WB buys those rights out fully from her, I can't have any fun with it anymore. And you know how much I want to celebrate the fact that I'm in House Hufflepuff? Come on. Like, guys, this sucks. But you ruined it.
I'm in the exact same place. Like over at Nerd Initiative, we made the decision we are not touching that show. We have people we love that are trans. Even if we didn't, it's not right. Because she has said that she is using the money from the show to bankrupt this trans hate train. And it's just someone you know is trans. You may not know it, but they do. Someone can see what you're saying, they can see what you're supporting, and they can see you putting money into her pocket so she can hate them even louder. It's just common decency. Like, I haven't even seen a trailer. And I was the Harry Potter fan. I went there on my honeymoon to Harry Potter World.
God, by the way, Harry Potter World is kind of awesome.
It
I
is
do love
really
me some
cool.
Butterbeer.
That,
And it's
but
like
oh my
now
God,
I
I've
go
thought about
right
it
to the
every
Simpsons
day.
world because I'm like, well, it's better. Yeah, I grew up on Simpsons. I can do that. Yeah, that's a damn
And
shame.
it is. It's horrible. And it's like, I just don't understand how you can make a whole book series about a child who never fit in, who finally found his people, where he was accepted, and you're just a whole ass bigot. How does
That's
that
the
happen?
betrayal. That's the betrayal because Harry Potter is so LGBTQIA plus coded. The fact that she turned out to be a full on bigot, it's like, you are kidding me. How is this possible when everything in your world was geared towards giving them a place? Literally, it's a safe haven for people who don't fit in. That's Hogwarts.
Yeah.
And and the community and even the people that like the purebloods and stuff like that, they're the bad guys. Why are you a bad guy from your own book? It's wild to me. That's a shame.
It is. And it's just, I, like I said, I have people who I love that are trans, and they've even
Hmm.
said that they were the biggest Harry Potter fans. I have one friend, she was like, that was my life. That was my safe space. That was everything to me. And now she took it away. And it's like you ruined so many lives with that. And now the more you talk, you're ruining even more lives because people are praising you for it. That's crazy.
It's crazy. I can't. You know, there are some automated things going on with our Twitter account, but generally I don't use Twitter as much as possible. I don't use Twitter. I mean, we have to use some of it, but because it has become such a cesspool. And guys, if you're not on Threads yet, I hate to like push a meta. I mean, God, we're really totally going socials, aren't we? Not to push a big tech firm over here, but Threads is a really nice home for us all. Come on over and hang out with us. We love to chat. Yeah.
It's so wildly different over there because
Hmm.
on Facebook today, I posted on my page saying Warren Ellis was he 60 different women have said that Warren Ellis had sexual misconduct towards them. 60, not 16, 60. And every comment, which was like 50 comments, well, he wasn't found guilty. He wasn't, you can't prove he did it. And then on Threads, everyone's like, fuck him. He's a piece of trash. Throw him
Exactly.
in jail. And it's so wildly different, these two places.
Yeah.
One feels very safe. One feels
Yeah.
terrifying.
One of them is better for fostering community too. If we're looking at just nuts and bolts of it all, like X is very. I hate to just say X, but X is a place where I'll post something and let the post die, knowing it's gonna wither on the vine. But over at Threads, it's a conversation, and so when I post something over there, it's like, oh, let's get people talking. Now I will say, the conversation leaves me very quickly because I'm not. I got other things to post as well, and people will be
Same.
like, I'm like, hey, keep on going, guys. You're doing great. My notifications appreciated, I guess, but yeah, it's a better place to build community, find friends. My personal account, which is mostly complaining about politics and the Dallas Cowboys, is the same vibe where it's just being like, yeah, we're complaining about politics. I have never had anybody go against me on that. When I'm talking about politics, you know how absurdly rare that is, but that's just how it is over on Threads. And it's not even Blue Sky, which is supposed to be the haven. But Blue Sky, for some reason, boy, yeah, that's another one. What are we even talking about today? Why is Blue Sky on Threads trying to talk smack? They are walking in it right now. And one of my favorite things is to watch them get ratioed like crazy on somebody else's app. Don't, you guys are messing up. Whoever the PR person is, gotta go. Not doing
Well, I
it.
can't remember her name, but oh, she made herself look so stupid. And I lived my best life seeing them just get ratio after ratio. And then people just posting for no reason at all. Just deleted my Blue Sky account. And it was just
Yeah.
so, it was nice to see everyone come together to see someone else burn.
Yeah, and it's crazy because Blue Sky, especially when it first came out, was like, hey, I hope you guys are successful because what you're planning on doing is amazing, and I'll even give it some effort. I don't give it any more effort because it's too many things, but I'll give it some effort, and I want you to do well. But doing this little like jumping on other platforms to like somewhat talk smack, and then even like apologize it, which apologizing wasn't right either. Man, they I don't think they're posting on Threads anymore because they have been getting their butt handed to them.
Or they got fired. Because there's not many
More
people
likely.
that work for Blue Sky. I remember when it first started, time after time, it was just breaking down. Nothing was working. They're like, there's only 8 of us working here. We're so sorry. And I was like, you know what? You do you. It's okay. But now it's like, it's just talking into the void over there. So,
I was backing. I can't even remember the name of it now, but I was backing like the TikTok version of. It was gonna run on Blue Skies, but it was gonna be TikTok, and I was a financial backer in the beginning, like a Kickstarter backer, not financial in that way, but it was so messy, and so much of the development behind it was just like we're trying to make this thing stable. It's unstable like crazy. We have the code, we have everything else. We're just trying to get this thing to not be bad. And then they ran into a moderation problem, which of course is a big thing with social media, where they were like, well, because Blue Sky you could post anything, it's really hard to like, make sure it's safe for kids. And I think that app is dead now. I don't know, but I remember like opening it up and trying it out as somebody who was again paying for it. I was like, holy cow, guys, this is not safe. You gotta shut this bad boy down quick. And that was like before AI really took off. I can't imagine what's on there right now.
was that like Red Dot or something? There was like 4 different
Red
ones.
Note was the
That
Chinese
that was the
replacement.
one.
Yes, and I have a
Yeah.
brother that was like, Red Note's the future. He's back on TikTok with me. And I'm
Yeah.
not saying everybody should go to TikTok. Look at us. Oh, God. I'm not saying everybody should go to TikTok either. I have a lot of fun over there. I've got my little corner. But, like, my TikTok feed is very much different than, like, my dad, for example, who's his, like, all diesel engines. And mine's politics, essentially, and geekdom. Yeah.
I
Oh,
was
goodness.
on TikTok for so long and then I gave it up. Whenever they got a new owner and then
Mhm.
everyone's stuff only got 0 views, I was like, I'm out. I'm done. I'm sick of learning the rules of a new land. I can't do it anymore. And I've been happy ever since. Friend, I hate TikTok. I hate it so much.
It's hard because it is the most adapting algorithm. So there
Hmm.
is a lot of research that goes into it to just try to stay afloat. Right now, I am
Yeah.
not doing well over there. I'm doing good on Reels. That's Trial Reels was the best thing they've implemented on that thing ever.
Thank God for
Um,
them.
I love it.
Yeah.
And so Reels is doing good. And YouTube, I notice, is just kind of the stalwart. It just keeps growing if you just keep putting effort in. And so, yeah, I'll give you all the effort you want. You just got to reward me with something. And Twitter has died on that, and TikTok's not really helping out much right now. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's very much consistency is key. But if I'm with TikTok, I was like, I am consistent. I post the same time every day, multiple times a day. I had a TikTok, this genius TikTok person was like, this is how you do the hashtags. This is how you do this. And then TikTok's like, well, actually, we're not going to use that many hashtags. So it's like, just too much. I want to do this for love of the game. I don't want to stress about this.
When you're editing your video, I don't even know. You know what I'm thinking like right now too. As somebody who does the editing, does a lot of the producing like you do, I'm trying to think like what is Megan going to call this episode? And I don't even have a title for you because we're going everywhere now. X-Men, social media, and socialism. There you go. um, when you're doing your videos though, what do you feel like is the most successful for you? Is it the explainer videos, or where are you leaning the channel now?
Um, My most successful runs are whenever I have a negative comment because negativity gets pushed in the algorithm,
Yes,
but
it
I
does.
don't have many negative comments. So with my character breakdowns, the ones that do the best for me that get the most seen and get more people engaging are when I explain a character's powers. Hands down, because there's always someone that's like, that's actually not true. And I'm like, yes, it is. I know what I'm talking about. Shush. And
Yes, I mean,
there's always someone.
literally today I have a like I get those all the time, and again, they do stick with me too, where I'll paraphrase something. Heaven forbid if I paraphrase something. I was paraphrasing a thing from the Targaryens, and they're like, "Well, actually, this saying is this," and I said, first off, it's basically, which covers my ass fully, but secondly, what they're telling you is either they're a conqueror or they're a ruler, and you're going verbatim from Old English. Clearly, I'm modernizing it, but oh god, I can go forever on trying to fight back on comments.
have to stop myself because it's the little ones where they think they know more than me, and I'm like, one of
Yes.
us put so much work into this and the other didn't. So don't try me. Like today, or it was yesterday, I posted one about what Magneto can do without his powers, like how his brain is just as important as his mutant powers. And at one point in the video, I said that he's does well in hand-to-hand combat, meaning I'm not going to be able to take him out if he punches me in the face. He's got some
Right.
hands. I'm not saying he's amazing, but he could hold his own. And someone said, "Well, actually, I wouldn't say he's very well in hand-to-hand combat, but I think in a bar fight, he would be able to stick to himself and hold his own." And I was like, "That's what I just
Yeah. You literally same thing twice.
yeah, it's just like, did you want attention? Or could like was there any other way?" And then it's just like at the end of the day, you're like, "You know what? That guy's not thinking about my comment. That guy's not thinking about me. Why am I thinking about
Yes.
him?"
I'm glad you're doing that protection to your own mental health because that is very important. And one of the things I do, and this is probably the most arrogant thing I do, maybe, is a lot of times when somebody's doing something like that, I'll check out their profile real quick and see I'm all right.
I do
This
the
person
same.
does not care about social media like I do.
I do the same thing. Every person that went on my Facebook post that said, "Oh, but Warren Ellis wasn't found guilty," I went on theirs. I'm like, I see now. I see what's
Yeah,
going on.
right. Who they follow, who they're reposting. Yeah,
Who
we're
their
okay.
profile picture is, who's in their cover photo. I see that.
Yeah. Now
Like,
that has bit me in the butt before when I go on their page and I'm like, we would be best friends normally. What did I do wrong? But generally that doesn't happen.
there was one, like, oh my gosh. It was after the first three episodes of X-Men, and I posted a clip from my review of it, and I was like, the fan service was turned all the way up, and I thought it was used perfectly. This is a perfect way to show mutants. This one guy, this one fucker, he posted on it saying, all you guys do is complain. You don't like anything. You think the show was made for you.
I remember
And
that comment.
yeah, yeah. And I said, "Did you watch the video? Because this was a positive review." And then he deleted the comment. And I think about him every day because I'm like, you just had to say sorry. And I have some friends who are in other fandoms. They're like, he's huge in other fandoms. He's got like 50,000 followers. He's a big deal. And I was like, well, that big deal just deleted his comment because he was wrong. And it just drives me nuts.
Don't okay, so here's some advice for people on social media if you're getting into it. Don't ever delete your comment. Now you could delete your original post and then put a new post up saying, "Hey, I messed up, guys." But even then, like I would rather you put a comment underneath your post saying like, "This is where I botched it," or "This is what I'm learning," something like that. But trying to delete your history is guilt immediately. But trying to back it up with other reasoning, then we're having a conversation, and I think that's a lot more valuable than just being like, "I got called out. I better run." That's not going to help you. That's not going to help us.
Also, we can tell when you're about to delete it. So we screenshot it. So,
Yep.
like,
That's why I saw it because I know you screenshotted it and threw it up on Threads.
yeah, I was mad about it because it's like, man, I go out of my way to be positive, and I was one of the few who was not trashing X-Men for views. And I was proud of that because I did have some problems with it. But don't watch my stuff before coming at me. If you have a problem after you watch my stuff, fine, whatever. But watch it first. At least give me the view. Damn.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, and in my opinion, like it's okay to like the other side of this. Obviously, is people who are cheerleading for no reason, or they're the
Hmm.
shills. We get called shills all the time in the comments. Um, Absolutely call me out if you think I'm being a fanboy, but understand that I will talk smack about something with reason. I won't bash you for being a fan of it, but if I'm
Hmm.
saying like, for example, in this season, one of the things I got to complain about. Here we go for X Men. Let's bring it back to
Let's
X Men
hear
a
it.
little bit. Is I think they need to start taking death a little bit more seriously. And I know that Gambit coming back, they did have some mourning about that, but I feel like it was a far bigger deal than even they were letting on. There was this kind of attitude from Rogue where it's like, well, if we just do this, we can get Gambit back. No, he's dead, and that needs to be bigger to you. Not that she wasn't like emotionally impactful, but the resolution of getting him back was just like, oh, we all have to do just 1+1, and then when he's here, that needs to be huge. And I know that us as viewers know that he's coming back because of course he is. It's comic book stuff. But you as participants need to believe. Now, see, that's the thing. Is like, am I bashing X-Men? No, I'm just saying I loved this whole thing. This is a part that I'd want fixed if I could fix something. Two different
Could
things.
could not agree more. And just wait till they get to Krakoa. Pretty screwed
Yeah.
then, because they're just gonna be
God.
growing people in eggs.
Everyone's coming back. Yeah, they're Nightcrawler. We'll see you in a sec, but wait till we get to Krakoa. Yeah.
We'll see tomorrow. It's fine. But I completely agree because my biggest complaint about this season was the pacing. And a lot of people took that as, well, they didn't make the show for you. All you do is complain. All you do this. And it's like, how is it a complaint though? Because I'm saying I want to see more of what they're giving us. I want to see more of that. I want to see expanded on. I
Yeah.
think that's fair because
I
the
think that's
pacing
fair.
was exhausting.
It was exhausting, especially compared to the first season, where the complaint might have been they're going through the story too fast. Because I think Madeline Pryor was one episode, the
Yeah.
Inferno. Yeah, there
Yep.
was it was way too fast. So uh, it was a huge gear shift immediately. Um, but God, there's so many elements that were just. I love when it rhymes, and one of the things that rhymed in this finale was when I don't know if you caught it, but when Cable's coming down and he's shooting the gun down was the same thing that his dad did in the first episode of season one with
Oh,
the
that's
laser
right.
eyes.
I didn't
And it was like,
realize
it's the
that.
same move.
I didn't realize. That's so cool. Good
Yeah, I
catch.
love when they do that. I love when they rhyme. And MCU is really good about that. And yeah, hopefully that's another little bit of like MCU touch on the X-Men.
Yeah, I do like when the MCU does do that and they know it's going to become someone's threads post the next day. They know it. So that's what happens. And I like that they're aware of that. And I like that they know that we're going to spot these things because we think they're cute. Also, I didn't see enough people talking, but we got the crop top back, people. Gambit's back with the crop top,
He
and
is. That's
he
right.
is. We got the crop top.
AJ has totally embraced that, by the way. You notice how much, I don't know if you follow him
Yes.
on, he wears that shirt a lot. Good for him.
Look, if you have the body for it and you feel
Yeah,
comfortable and
fair
safe,
enough.
do it. Like, even if you don't have the body for it, if you feel good in it, do it. But if you look like Gambit, you're rude for not doing it.
I love when voice actors like they figure it out. They're like, "This is my character. This is me forever now." And I can't remember his name, unfortunately. It's, Daniel. Oh, there it is. The voice of Namor from Marvel Rivals. He's now just Namor. In his social media, everything he does is Namor now. And so it's just so fun to watch him because it's like you're following Namor on social media.
I
And
love
yeah,
that.
he's having a blast with it.
Well, it's what Lenore's done. Her whole life is Rogue. Her first book she wrote, she name dropped Rogue in the title, A Rogue's Tale.
Yes.
I love that because it shows me like you are protective of this character. You love this character. It's like with John Bernthal and Frank Castle. He said he would not come back to the MCU if they did not treat the character right. So it's like, so you're not just here for money, you care. And that's what we need in these superhero movies.
I'd like to ask you about that. Let's pull back a little bit on the wider Marvel here,
Let's do
and
it.
looking at like the Spider-Man Brand New Day of it all. That thing hit $2 billion, or that thing's gonna hit like $2.7 billion, whatever production predictions are saying. What do you think Marvel can learn from that? My first take is that smaller stories still do big numbers. What are you thinking?
I think they're going to see that you don't have to have a multiversal crisis to make a Billy. Like, we have been at, and it's also listen to the fans. The fans have been asking you for God knows how long for a street level story of a Spider-Man. And Tom Holland knows that because he went and saw it all on the internet. That poor bastard. He went and listened to every person complaining and he figured out what they want. That's what you should be doing because you're making all of this for money. It's all money at the end of the day, but you're not going to make any money if you lose your fans.
Right, right. I first off, side note, I adore Tom Holland. It's
I
definitely
know.
a parasocial problem at this point where I'm just like, if him and Zendaya ever break up, I will be heartbroken. So I am way too
Yes.
invested in those two kids making it. But yeah, I think that there's something there where Marvel probably. The other thing I picked up on when watching it was like, this feels like I'm jumping into issue 538 to 542. And you're just jumping in. The world already exists. It's already been living. Scorpion's now doing this thing. And then we're going to leave right when like another story's about to pick up. And it's not like back in the day, like when you guys read comic books, whenever there's a new writer, generally, like there's a huge tonal shift or there's a huge story break. And all the Marvel movies felt like that. This one didn't. This one felt like, oh no, we're still in just like whomever. We're just still in their story. We're just jumping in for a bit and then we're jumping back out. And I really hope Marvel embraces that going forward. I think Guardians of the Galaxy got the closest to that beforehand, and I don't know if we're getting Guardians again, but I think that's another one that could really use from that. There's so many heroes I want to come back, Doctor Strange and all that. But
I
yeah,
think the Guardians are.
I know you know Robert. I just did a video with him yesterday about Doctor Strange, so I got Doctor Strange on my mind right now. So yeah, SWO podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
See, I just told someone this today. I forget these people have real names and they're not their
Trust it.
handles.
You're one of the few that I know more as Megan than Vigilante Vibes. Most people, I'm like, okay, gosh, I don't want to name drop too many people because I don't know which networks they're in right now. But yeah, it's hard sometimes.
I know you more as Frank because we have a Nerd Initiative group chat where all us executives are talking, and Thomas's name was brought up, and it was in a story we were trying to explain to a new executive, and I was like, "Oh, that's funny. I'm having Frank on the podcast tonight," and everyone's like, "Oh, cool, have fun." And then that one person was like, "Who's Frank?" I was like, "Oh, I forgot. You don't know."
Yeah, it's tricky because then gosh, I don't want to get into the politics of it all, but not like that politics, but like because people are shifting and they're starting new adventures and stuff like that. It's like, oh, I know that person from that person, but they're over here now, and oh, I still know this person too. Are they still friends? Of course, we're all still friends to a degree. Some bridges need to be fixed. But yeah. So it's one of those things where we have a really good community. Now, back in the day, this is before your time, Megan. Back in like the early days of when Twitter was a good place, we
Ooh.
really depended on each other, and we used to
Hmm.
have these. I don't know if you've ever been in one of them, where we had these Twitter like groups that you could have 50 at a time, and we would
Yes.
post our new episode link in those, and then everybody would repost it as if that was doing anything for our actual numbers. But yeah, that was back then. We needed each other for any advertisement or any growth in any way. It was rough.
I used to be a part of a podcast network that did that. And that was my only one. I was like, people do this? And I mentioned it to someone, and this was like 2 years ago. And I was like, did you know people do that? And they're like, no one does that, Megan. That time is done.
That
You're
time is
living in the
done.
past.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
you have a political science podcast posting your episode of Magneto. It's like, it's not going anywhere. They're just being
And
nice.
and the algorithms, we live in an algorithm world right now, whether we like it or not, and they know when it's the same people reposting your stuff, and that, oh, okay, so this is just a machine. This is essentially bots that are people driven. It's not going to do you any good. You need to actually have conversations on social media, have decent takes, and don't be an asshole, and you'll do just fine on social media.
That's it. And I feel like that's such a big part of podcasting that people don't really get because they're caught into the whole YouTube of it all. There's the TikTok of it all, that it's a competition, but it's not though. Podcasting, it's all about community. It's everyone's podcast is different, every single one. Even if they have the same theme, the same subject, they do it differently. They are different people. It's very personal to who they are. And I feel like podcasting, the way to grow is with each other. It's you're never going to start a podcast unless you're super duper famous and it's just an instant success. No one's journey looks the same and we're all in this together. And I feel like that's not talked about enough.
Yeah, we're not all Amy Poehler out here. God, like day one, she had the number one podcast.
I've been sitting there
But
mad about that. Like I'm happy for her because it's a positive
yeah,
podcast, but at the same time it's like they only made the what was it, Grammys? What was
no, it's an Emmy, I think.
Emmy or something like that?
Yeah, for
Yeah.
podcasting.
Yeah, and it was
It's
like
amazing.
that's just so the celebrities can suck themselves off. Well,
Yeah,
you're not going to pick any of ours. You mean to tell me
exactly.
Alex Cooper isn't going to win the next one?
Yeah, and then like, oh God, here we go. Podcast movement too. Like, I've been so hit and miss with them, but then they brought in Ben Shapiro for one of their conventions. I was like, deuces.
Yeah.
No, thank you. Speaking of Major, of Jonathan Majors, yeah, I'm not doing anything with Ben Shapiro. So yeah, it's one of those things where uh, I keep telling people, especially when like I'm helping somebody who's onboarding a new show, don't compare yourself to others. That's just gonna bring you pain. Try to create authenticity. It's on my board of things right here. Authenticity is king right now, and just be authentic as possible. It's gonna feel weird to some of you older folks. The younger people are cool with that. I wish I had the bravery of these like 18-year-olds that are just being like, my normal life, look at me, no filters or whatever it is. And I'm
Yeah.
over here like, I've got a comb next to me. I've got literally a bunch of different shirts that I think look decent. Everything is so done well for me.
But I think that goes back to your comfort. Like these young people, they just wake up and turn on their phone and they're fine. I'm like, look, I need like 2 to 3 business days of overthinking before we can do that. Like,
Yes.
don't,
Oh my God, Megan, exactly that. You know how much overthinking goes into everything
yes,
I do? Oh my God.
everything.
I
If I
literally
do
just did a panel.
anything on the fly, I'm thinking about it for weeks. Like, should I have done
Yes, nothing's natural. Even like my videos, I one day I'm gonna release one that I don't cut. But the amount of times where I repeat a phrase or a word, or I'm like, let me pause real quick to see how to pronounce that person's name. If I could just release the full thing, which would be, good 7 minutes long, which is not the ideal time, it would be like, holy, this kid's got a stuttering problem. We got to get him off the internet. Yeah, it's
yes?
just me cutting it like crazy.
I made I recorded an episode that was an hour long today. And I know it's already cut down to 40 minutes. That's how much I've messed
Hmm.
up on it. And that is bare bones. And it's like, why do you keep tripping over your words? Why do you keep smacking your lips? Why do you say the word eventually so many times?
And so that was mine today. Today was like, I think if somebody were taking shots every time I said, and so, we'd have a hospital problem.
Mine was
And that was in a
yeah.
video, not in a podcast.
Mine is I realized this like 2 weeks ago. I'm like, why do you start every sentence with so? What? Who are you talking at? Like, what are you doing?
Long form podcasts, I'll say all right all the time because I'm like, that's how I shift gears. And I'm usually the one that's doing the shifting gear. I'm the one that's got the outline up right now. We're doing a bit of a soft reboot for Geek Freaks, so we're trying to not cover as much stuff anymore in one go. But we normally would cover like maybe 12 topics. And so I'm the one having to keep everybody, going. I'm like, all right. And then so as I'm editing, I'm like, how many times do you say all right in this episode? Stop doing that. God.
This is validating because you just go to bed at night and you're like, why do I do that? Am I the only one? Is it just me out here? Is everyone just like, because I always think like, who are the people that make a video, make a podcast, and then they just don't edit it. They just put it out like loosey goosey.
Yeah, and I tell you what, Megan, I have to remind Thomas of this a lot and other people that like a lot of the people we aspire to actually all of Distance Nerding right now, they're going through this too, people on my network. Um, everybody who aspire to be the Brandon Davises of the world, the Straw-Hatted Goofies, the, Joe Deckelmeyers, they have teams doing their video. It's not you. They have teams of people. So, and they have it down to literal science, hooks that work and stuff like that. So if you're doing it that much all on your own, you're gonna burn yourself out. You're not gonna have fun doing it. You need to understand that like if I'm not having fun doing this, it's not worth doing. Try to just have fun first, and then like I'll help you get your numbers up if I can. But just have fun because you could get you don't have a team behind you. That's what I'm basically trying to say.
Those guys literally show up just to talk and leave. They don't do anything. Like
Yeah, must
they
be
don't
nice.
practice. Yeah, they sometimes they go, they don't know what they're talking about. We
Yeah.
spend how long on one episode and these people just get dressed for it. That's it. And a lot of people compare themselves to these people and I think that's so sad because why are you going to try to do what they do? They're already doing it. Do what you
Right.
do. No one's done it yet. And it's
And I
just
will
sad.
to push back a little bit on that. I will say if you want to be like them, I think there's a some merit to what they're doing because it's something that I have a hard time with personally of being so natural. And I think like Juju Straw Hat Goofy is so good about like new trailer out, which of course he makes it look more natural than it actually is. We know that, but new trailer out. Let me film my reaction to it. Oh, I'm having a lot of fun with this and stuff like that. And then he goes and somebody else edits that. That's fun. But I think there's a level of like I overthink things. I wish I could think less like he is pretending to think less. And so, understand that they have a team behind them and that they're also faking it to make it sometimes. But don't compare yourself to people. I have friends that I'm talking to that are like comparing themselves all the time to some of these big guys. It's like, well, why are we not doing those? It's like, well, first off, just blatant luck will get you a whole lot further. And
True.
keep going and keep grinding away, and eventually you'll make something of yourself. It's fine.
It totally is. And, your journey is different from theirs. You don't want to be Brandon Davis or whoever else you named. I don't know
A
those
bunch of
people.
names that are all
Yeah.
basically the Brandon Davis clones. Yeah.
Yeah. They're all, and like, that's my thing with all these bigger creators. I'm happy for you guys, very happy for your success. But at some point, you guys kind of all look the same to me. There's not that, there's not that like that mom and pop store feel. Like you'll never go into the same one. It's always a different one that has its own cozy feeling. And that's what I like. I like that about podcasts.
I was just talking at a panel where we were talking about indie marketing, and I was trying to explain to them like if you're this is a panel for a group of people who make board games, and they were like, I was telling them go on every podcast you can, on every YouTube channel you can. If you see that they have 5 views, it's okay because those 5 viewers care a whole lot more than the 50,000 viewers of somebody big. Those people will not follow their recommendations. But if you're watching somebody who has 5 views, you care about what that person says a lot. And so when they suggest your board game, that means something. And I think that's just kind of this new era of indie first, advertising. And we're seeing it across the board. Like we're seeing the high rung people start to come down to our ilk to start advertising on our shows. It's like, yay. But that's because they know that our fans are far more motivated to follow us than necessarily like the IGNs of the world. There was a time when IGN was like king of all geek conversation, especially in the video game side. And now they're desperate to post as much as possible. And it's like, it's starting to show, guys. You got to slow down a little bit. You got to be more yourselves.
Them and comicbook.com. The mask is slipping, and it sucks because comicbook.com was like my favorite one. And now it's like everything's AI generated. And it's like, well, I know I'm doing better than you because I don't need to use that.
And I enjoyed myself more than you did in making that. Yeah. That's like,
true.
We you and me are both big fans of discussing films, and they are constantly churning stuff out, and to a point where there are slow news days where I'm like, you guys are putting stuff out right now because the algorithm told you to, not because there's something new coming out. And that's gotta suck for you guys, because like I generally will feel that pressure, but not to a degree to do what you're doing right now. So yeah, that's.
Have you ever noticed where they accidentally post on the wrong account, like the owner of Discussing Film? They think they're posting from their own account. It's always on a slow news day. Every time. And then it gets deleted an hour later. It's like, I know what you were doing.
Yeah.
It's cute.
But
I get it.
Only us who pay attention too much to social media catch that we know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And everybody else just like, oh, look, it's something new from these guys. And I am not bad mouthing those guys. I'm telling you, you don't bite the hand that feeds you. That's the one. And I use those guys as a very solid news source.
Same.
So I'm not talking smack. Pop culture.
We're not talking smack, but we are talking about your game and social media because I think we all have a different one. We all have what works for us, and if that works for you, fine. It's not rage bait. You're not posting false things. I could never say anything wrong with you.
Exactly. Don't post rage bait. I'm happy. One thing that I'm trying to add, especially on threads where it feels far more welcomed, is I'm trying to add an opinion. Maybe not on every post because that's exhausting and sometimes I'm just like too behind. But I'm trying to post an opinion just to kind of like see if I can kind of surround myself with the people who might agree with me or might have good input on that. And yeah, sometimes, boy, that's a bad move. Especially if you try to do fan casting, boy, you are gambling. But it's fun.
Sometimes there's people who are like, oh my gosh, that's such a good fan cast. And then the other 89 comments out of 100 are like, ew. Well, actually, no. Or actually, they said this. Or did you know they got caught doing this? And it's like, no, I didn't. I just thought they looked nice.
Obviously I didn't know it. Or, oh God. This is not my realm to talk about. I'll start with that. But there was a podcaster I was on his show. His name was FTO, Flipping Tables Over, hosted by D. It was a great show. He's no longer doing it, though. But I fan casted Ironheart a long time ago with, I couldn't even tell you the actress's name anymore, but she's from Blackish. And I thought, oh, I really like her on Blackish. I think she'd be a good Ironheart. My mistake, because I have learned that she wasn't the proper version of Black, I guess, to a ton of people I didn't feel like should be throwing their input on that conversation. And I was just being like, I'm going to stay out of it. D messaged me and he's like, hey, I'm really sorry you're getting all this heat from this post under I was comments of under his. And I was like, I'm learning and I'm observing, man. It's okay. Don't worry. I'm learning and I'm observing.
You always learn something from someone on the internet. That's how I learned that Timothy Chalamet said he will never do superhero movies because I said he just would look so good as Nightcrawler. And I said this like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And every person in the world woke up and said, I know what Megan said and I'm here to tell her she's wrong. Because hundreds, that was like my first time getting hit on threads. Hundreds of comments said, he said he'll never do it. He'll never do it. You're wasting your time. This is ridiculous. And I was like, I thought he looked nice. I thought he looked good.
Yeah, let's wait till the Dune money's done. Then we'll see what he does. Yeah. Well,
Steve, I hope he takes up ballet.
Excuse me. That would be not bad. Ballet's a good move for him. He's got the body for it. And I tell you, he's a skinny guy.
He is. His
Tom
mom
Holland would be
and
good at
sister
ballet
is a
too.
ballerina, both of them.
Really, I didn't know that. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and then it's interesting. He went out and said that no one is interested in ballet and wanted nothing to do with
That's
it.
right.
Yeah, while his mom and sister were ballerinas.
Well, he got a lot of heat over that, and I was kind of wondering, like, is this, this happens a lot when there's like rage because for the sake of rage, and I was just like, guys, when's the last time you watched ballerinas do anything? And also, like, he's a dumb idiot for saying that probably, but also like, calm down. Like, it was
Like,
one of those things.
the ballet community did not get harmed in any way of him saying something stupid. I
Yeah.
get he said something stupid, but we're canceling him over saying something stupid? I say something stupid all the time.
Yeah, our president says far more stupid things, and we're supposed to respect him. Haven't done it for for a long time. So yeah,
It's been a long time.
yeah. God,
But
2016 escalator about then. Yeah,
oh, probably before that. Probably when you know what? This is going too far in there. He wants
yeah.
this. But yeah, it's like Timothy Chalamet, you're going to cancel him and not watch the Dune movies because he said no one's interested in ballet. It's like, I've not heard any of you talk about ballet. People are interested in it. Don't get me wrong. But don't pretend you were interested in it just to be mad.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. Not since the Black Swan have we all cared about ballet so much. So
Well, I was a ballerina, so I cared.
okay, well there you go. See, and I got my foot right in my mouth all of a sudden.
No, you're fine. As someone who did ballet for years, I can say that we're fine. No one's upset. We don't care. You guys are
That's
just looking to
generally
be
the
angry.
case too. Sometimes we just need, it's social media is such a battlefield. Sometimes Threads is better than the others usually, but yeah, sometimes it's just like, let's see how this goes, and sometimes you just like, I can't read my comments. It's a mess.
And sometimes it's just too quiet. You're like, what's about to happen? And you're just kind of sitting and waiting. That's been stressing me out lately because I'm like, something tragic hasn't happened in a day or two.
D23 will fix that.
We can hope.
We
So
could hope,
we've been
which we're
talking
about
for
50 minutes away from it.
yeah, we've been talking for a very long time. And thank you for coming on. You're invited back anytime, obviously. I love what you do. I love all your content. You're an awesome person. So can you tell my listeners where they can find you?
Honestly, just Google Geek Freaks. I'm supposed to be telling you guys to follow us on Apple Podcast and Spotify more because I'm not doing that enough. So yeah, go do that, please. But generally, just Google Geek Freaks. You'll find us. And again, we don't talk smack. We don't rage bait. We generally just have a good time. If you've listened to me for an hour-ish time so far and you don't hate me, give us a follow.
Yeah, because it's just like him, but with many other topics. Even though we've had many topics here, but a lot of side quests, and I like side quests in a conversation.
That is literally the name of our Patreon podcast, is Side Quest, where I just go on random side topics. Yeah,
I had no idea.
yeah, that's a good name. That's
That's
literally
like
the name of it. Yeah.
it's like the one thing I have not looked into as a Patreon, so maybe I will.
Oh,
I don't know.
Megan, you should do it. I not just because I think you're going to get rich from it. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying because I know your fans and they want a new way of supporting you.
Well, maybe I'll do it.
There we go.
Add another thing to the list.
Yeah, that'll pay for the person who could do the other things on the list.
My God, we cracked the code.
Yes.
Well, with that being said, thank you for listening to this episode of Vigilante Vibes Podcast. Wherever you listen to this episode, click that subscribe button so you don't miss any of my amazing guests like Frank or any future episode. Thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a marvelous night.